Hello, everybody. Just going to give it another minute or two. We have people signing in, and we had about 70 people register. So I appreciate everybody being prompt. So we're going to give it just another minute or so. Thank you. I'll be right back. One thing no one would challenge, saving money when you want. Okay, good evening, everybody. Again, thanks for joining. Appreciate everybody's time. Today's topic is going to be transition coverage. And before I hand it over to the person leading this discussion, I am just going to go over a couple of quick things. First off, if you have not paid your dues, state and local, please get that taken care of. Also, your game assignment fees, we want to make sure we're getting those taken care of. And for those of you that are working fall ball, I'm assuming you know by now that you are wearing shorts. So you should have gotten that email. So just if you're working fall ball, shorts. So I'm going to go ahead and share screen here. 1 second. Okay. Just 1 second. This thing's taking over my computer here. Okay. Oh, nope. That's not what I want to share with y'all. I'm sorry. Hit the wrong button. There we go. Okay, so again, topic is transition coverage. Today, well, actually, I apologize. First thing I want to mention is advanced training. If you guys, for those of you who are between, 2 and 5 years, 5 years, if you are wanting to get some reps in, a good place to go is to the advanced training. Supi Sepulveda is leading that. He's the advanced training director. That's taking place on Sundays as well. So they started yesterday, but of course you can always join in and go start heading to this next one that will be taking place on the 17th. And the advanced training is from 2 to 5. Okay, so just if you're wanting to get some reps in, it's a good place to go and get some good basketball officiating in. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over here. So, as y'all know, if you've come to these sessions before, there's a different person leading each of these sessions. And so I have asked, we want to give different opportunities to different officials. So I have asked Rafael Belafonte to lead and introduce these clips. And of course, this is more of a discussion. We want everyone to feel free to ask questions, to make comments. No question is too silly or wrong. We're all here to learn about basketball and prepare for the season. So Rafael has been with our chapter. I think he's going into your 13th season.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and he's worked many playoff games, men's and women's, boys and girls, I should say. He is also a college basketball official. He has worked regionals, and this last year he worked his first state tournament. So he has quite a bit of experience at all levels. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it on over, Rafael.
Thank you, Ms. Diane. All right, good evening, everybody. All right, so we're talking about transition coverages. All right, you want to change the slide for me? There we go. So before we actually begin the clips, we want to go over just kind of the positioning and where we're like in transition. So just start just going from C to C. You can see on the diagram, C to C. After that, then did I do that? Or did you do that? That's something. Okay, there we go.
Oh, no, we're good. Sorry.
All right, then. If you want to just show from lead to T, that's right there. Right? Yeah, lead to T, and then also our trail to lead. Now, people that actually went to our training yesterday, we kind of were going over this, and if you notice where the lead C and T, where they're actually going to in transition, that's actually the home base. And so when we actually talked about that yesterday about where we actually want you to start when you're actually like starting at your home base, meaning starting at these three spots and then working high or low depending on the play at hand. All right, and if you want to change to the next slide, we're actually going to show transition covers after a rotation, because a lot of times we might have where someone rotates and then right as the lead comes over and we actually move, boom, we have a steal, or we have a shot that went up and now we're in transition the other way. So we see here the C or actually go to lead transitioning over, becoming the new lead is now pushing that C to becoming that new trail. And then also our previous trail will be coming to new C. He'll be going from C to C. Now, before we get to the clips, did anybody have any questions about positioning or anything before we move on? All right. All right, I'm gonna go to the next clip. I think now we okay. So right here on this slide here, we're pretty much just showing in like a full court press situation where we want is everybody lining up. So if you see, it says the C stays in the backcourt, and then lead should have the deepest player front and boxed in. So if you see here, yep, that's the lead. So that first on the left side, you see that's full court press. So a lot of times, people will like to go all the way to the baseline and just start in their home base, and then you're leaving the other two officials, the referee, everybody come up, and you actually want to be with that pretty much the last person that's back. And then now I've actually talked about this with someone yesterday as well, because we had a question was, what if you have one offensive player in the backcourt? They're in the front court, and everybody else was in the front court. So what I told the guy was kind of be in the middle, because what's going to get you more in trouble, the offense or the defense? Most of the time, it's going to be that defense. So if you're just going to stay all the way in the front court with that one offensive player, you're leaving your partners out to dry. So always tell people, just get in between that last person in the backcourt of the offensive player and that last person. Just be in between there so you can still see both actions going on. All right, now let's get to the clips. So we're going to play it full speed. Hold on, we're going to play the clip and then just go over coverages. Now, the calls, do you want to go over call selection on these plays, or just,
Yeah,
okay, then we'll go through all that. Okay, cool. So then we'll probably just, once we play it, then I'll ask everybody's opinion on court coverages if we agree, and then also on the calling of the play. All right, go ahead. It's a little choppy. Are y'all able to see that well, or is it a little choppy for you guys as well?
Was it choppy?
Yeah, it was real choppy because on that play you kind of
Yeah, it's
need to
pretty
see that
choppy.
bump. Yeah, you need to see that bump on this play.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. See if this will work. That's weird because it is on my computer. Okay.
Yeah, it's still choppy on my end. Is it still choppy for you guys?
Let me try this.
Yeah, it's still choppy.
Hold on a second. If I minimize it, it might be less.
Yeah, it's like watching a GIF right now.
Was that not better?
I mean, slightly, but like no. Yeah, even someone else said no.
Hold on. Let me do this. Sorry. This is why Aaron always drives.
Mm-hmm.
Diana, you might want to consider going to full screen and getting rid of the panel on the left.
Yeah,
So
what
there's
I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to close this and I'm going to share the actual video from my computer since it's on there. I'm going to see if this will work. So let's try this. But that's a good idea too. Okay, here we go. Let's try this.
Yeah, nah, it's still choppy.
Is it
And I know specifically with this play because you need to see that bump on the drive, so you can't really see that bump.
weird because it is on my computer, like it is on, and my internet is fine. Is it still pretty choppy for everybody? Can y'all not tell, really see it?
Yeah, it's still pretty choppy.
It is better, but okay, that looked. It starts real clean and then it slows up. All right, so yeah, so we can at least try to. Can everybody really see that bump on the drive?
Yes, to the basket. Rebound.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect. There we go. Okay, good. Yeah, yeah. We can definitely talk about this. All right. So positioning wise, what do you guys think about the lead and the C in this play? Do y'all think they're in a good spot to referee this play, or do you feel like they need to be moving more? Give me y'all's opinions. Let's break it down together.
Can we roll it back so we can see them in transition?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll just try, I'll do it slow if that kind of helps people.
Yeah. I definitely like the lead's positioning. A lot of people like to tend to run straight to close down when they run in that transition. Stayed wide and actually was at the home base spot. See right through to the contact. Now, is there a whistle on the play? Is the question. Yep, good call, Jeremy. Looking over the shoulder. Perfect.
There's not a call on the first one. There's a call right there. At least I thought there was. Oh no, I guess they let
Nope.
that.
He didn't call it.
No call.
Yeah. Let me see.
So do you guys agree that we should have had a blocking call, or you think it was a good no call?
Definitely a blocking call.
I had a blocking call as well. If we can actually go back to that blocking call, we might as well just go off. We could just break down that on the reason why. So on drives to the basket, the first thing I always think to myself is I pick up the defender and I go, is the defender legal? If you can answer that question first, that makes your next part 100% easier. Because if the defender's legal and we have contact, then we have nothing. But if the defender is not legal and we have contact, then we're gonna have a foul. So that's usually that's my thought process when I pick up that defender. I always think to myself, is that defender legal? And play it through. Yeah, defender never established legal guarding position, and we have that contact. Actually, Mr. Zabicki is the one that taught me about picking up the defender, so I do want to appreciate that, Mr. Zabicki. All right, we can go to the next clip on this one now.
Okay.
Anyway, actually, before we move on, anyone have any questions about that?
Yeah, Robbie, so
No
you think
calls.
that lead official was in a good position to see that whole play?
Yes, I think I believe he can see through. Did you not think he had a good view, Mr. Cobb?
No, I don't. I think he's trailing the play instead of busting his butt to get to his position on the lead and look through that whole play.
I think he probably could have taken another step down too, and he probably would have seen through that. If he closed down a little more. Right? Well, let's see. He's a little straight lined.
Yes, he is. And when it occurred right there, he should probably be closer to the close down position than where he is.
It might also be helpful if he was off the baseline more so he could see through the play also, besides being closed down, being deeper.
True. Very good.
Good point. Okay. Here's clip 2.
Apologize. Thank you for that, Steve.
Did you
Can
want me
y'all
to?
see it's on the hands? Are y'all able to see that?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So we can talk about court coverage right now. So what is the C's responsibility in this press situation? Does anybody know that? C's responsibility in a press situation? So
The
C
first
has that.
line of defense.
Excuse me?
The first line of defense.
Yes, sir. First line defense. Also, C has that sideline to sideline responsibility looking through, which I think Frank does a really good job on reffing sideline to sideline. Now, I think we might have missed the first contact on this one, but we did get the second contact on blue as well. So play through, Miss Diane. And if you could try to slow it down, the foul is a quick one before this. It's like a quick hit, and then he hits him again on this when the ball comes back into play. All right, slow it down right here. So right there, you can kind of see blue to the left with that little reach around. Now, on y'all's opinion, who do you think has the best look on that first one? Do you think it would be that the new trail or the C on this one? Who would have
The new trail?
opinion?
The new trail?
Yes,
New
I would.
trail.
Yes, because that hand is in front of that of white 10. Hand is in front of him. So yes, I would say that the trail would have that best look more than Frank. Now, Frank, if he sees it, can have a cadence. I have no problem with that. Now, if you play it out, I'll keep playing it out, Miss Diane. Right here again. Now we have that second reach. And we have our C sideline making that call because I don't believe that trail can. I mean, he could probably see it, but I don't think he has the best look compared to the C on that play. All right. Can we back it up one more time? I want to see about the new lead. Look at his positioning on this one. But he does have people in the backcourt. Looks like we can't even see him.
Yeah.
He's already at the baseline, it looks like.
He's right here, but so
Yeah, I think he might be at the baseline. We can't see him.
Once the foul's called, he's already at the baseline.
So he probably could have been a little up, but again, that's being nitpicky.
Do you want to talk about
Mhm.
why just about the coverage with Frank having this here to here, which is something you want to make sure you cover in pregame?
Yes, definitely, because you definitely actually talked to Miss Rebecca Finch about this, about having a strong C. Having that strong C in your game is very crucial because you won't have plays in your game where if you just have a C that's over on the other side chilling, not really trying to help, you're going to have a lot of off-ball action plays or plays like this where a reach-in where the new trail is not going to be able to see that backside, and you're going to need that C to be going or covering that sideline to sideline, especially on out of bounds, is because you'll have a tip pass that go out that the new trail might not see, and the C will have that best looking at to see to help out with out of bound calls as well.
Is Frank in the right place, or should he get closer, or should he step in? I'm just asking in case somebody's wondering out there.
Go ahead, back it up again. We can start that. Let me see here. It's from the start to finish.
No, Frank was lazy there. See him peeking? He didn't get down there. He turned his shoulders like it was over, and then Frank got caught being a little bit lazy. See, he's trying to peek right there, and he could have took 2 steps down because he had the competitive matchup on his half of the court. But the thing that Frank did do okay, just okay, was that once the ball was established by the white team, he didn't take off down the court and leave the trail by himself. He could have probably went to his left a little bit more and quit peeking. But once the ball was established, now right there, he has a good look through and he didn't run away from it. So he started off a little bit slow and finished strong.
I like that. I'll
Says
make sure
Frank.
I pass that to Frank.
Says Frank. No,
All right. Any other questions or comments about this play?
good points, Frank. Okay.
All right, we go to the next one.
Oh, no, not this one.
Oh yeah, no, we couldn't see it. It was terrible. All right, this is gonna be a good one. You're going to have to slow it down. I guess you slowing it down makes it a lot better. So
Okay.
this one we're going to watch the pass into the backcourt. So slow down right here. All right. So what do we think? Do we think that was legal with the 1 foot down in the front court? Or do we believe she needs 2 feet down in the front court to be able to catch that ball?
Got
What
to
does everybody
establish
think?
yourself. You got to establish yourself on the other side of the court first before you catch the ball.
She had 1 foot down, so we're not good with the 1 foot.
No.
No.
It need 2 feet to establish.
Thank you. I just like to throw a little trick questions because coaches will say she had 1 foot in, and then a lot of people say, "Oh, you're right, coach." No, not right. 2 feet. That's good. Now we back that up. Let's talk about coverage now, or positioning. So we can start with the new trail, and then work our way to the C. All right, we do got our count. All right. And I do feel like we could have a little more pace. What a big thing is taught to me was when you see players walk, we jog. When you see them jog, we run. I'll go back. All right, let's check our C out. Now the C's with the second line defense. Now do I like the pace? I'm not a fan of the pace. If you know how I like to move a little more. So, but that's being nitpicky.
What about the way he's facing?
I was just about to get to that about his shoulders. Had his shoulder more square to the play. And then now look, so yeah, so in that moment, I think as an official, once we see that when I always see someone in the front court about to get trapped, my always first thing is always to see where could be that next pass go to. And you can see the closest person is going to be that girl in that backcourt. So then my next move would be to look down at the feet to make sure she has 2 feet over or not. And then when we can see that she has 1 foot, her right foot hits down, but the left foot never touches before she secures the ball. So we would have a backcourt violation.
Raphael, I think it would also be helpful for us to see it in real time, because even though this is really good for learning purposes, we're calling it in real time.
Yes, ma'am.
Does that make sense? So
No, 100%.
I might have missed this too in real time. It's a tough one.
No worries.
Is he moving too fast for the play? Like, even though he's walking, I still feel like he kind of got to that yellow line before the play did, and then he continued to walk instead of stopping because the action never passed that point. Like, he's still going instead of he could have stopped right there and squared up and been able to see that play a lot better. I think he probably would have been able to see that backcourt if that was the case.
I like that observation. Yes. I think the C should have stepped in. To stepping in more like on the court. No, I mean, I don't know about stepping more onto the court. I don't know about stepping. Yeah, I don't think he should step more on. I just think he could have stopped and turned.
Yeah.
Is why more why I would have been at. Stopped and turned, because then again, you remember, take the call. Oh, yes. Stepping in. Like I see you saying, yes, he definitely could have stepped in and made that call. All right. Any other comments about this one? I like the next one, so it's gonna be. I really like this next one.
Did you want to talk about the lead position?
No, yeah, we can back it up. Yeah, I've just been looking at the other two.
Yeah, I'll just do it fast and I'll do slow again.
Okay. Stay connected to the play. I didn't like the ball watching, but it's kind of hard to tell if he's even ball watching. I just tell by shoulders. He didn't go straight to the baseline, so he's still connected. Yeah, I like the leads. This one. What do y'all think? Do y'all like the leads positioning, or you think you should improve a little bit, hustled a little more?
I think it should be closed down more since the ball is on the other side of the court, at least right now in this clip where it's frozen.
Yes.
Yeah, about right here.
Mm-hmm. We shouldn't really be at this point, but yes, I see what you're saying.
There you go, one more time.
Don't like backpedaling or backwards walking. Agree.
Okay.
All right, let's go to this next clip. So with this next clip, remember that C, well, like we talked about earlier, the C has that sideline to sideline. Now we're going to see where this play call gets called at and about who is the right calling official. Should be the same game. Yep.
He a little out of position, huh? I think he got caught ball watching.
You got a minute left in the 4-point game. He was locked in. All right. So what do we think? Who do we think? Who's first? Whose call is this? Is this our new leads, or is this our C's call?
Lead.
I would be the
It should have been a lead call.
Does anyone think C?
It could be either one, because it's in the paint. Who has a better look? Who's there?
and B. I'd say the new lead.
So we only got one person for C.
I'm thinking it's new leads, but I would have liked it from C had he have been maybe where the T is, maybe two steps
position.
towards the paint at the T.
Yeah. Further
The C was
down.
almost at the
I think he would've-
baseline.
Yeah.
I think he would have had a better look.
You think the C would have been a look? Now,
Right
I
here
would
when
go with
you
the lead
see
as
him
well,
going-
just because off positioning. Who can see that defender? Who can see that defender from start to finish?
The lead.
Yup.
Well,
And he should have stepped in.
looking when the foul, there's contact, that it looks like the lead's actually straight lined. He's got two other players in front of him in this right here where Diane has it frozen. It's like, can he really see through that? And that's where if the lead would have been, not the lead, I'm sorry, the C would have been hustling down, they might have had a better look at it.
So you think the lead is stacked on this one?
I do. 23 and 2 are right there. You know, it's hard for him to look where he is. Now, if he would have hustled down and been on the baseline, it might have been a different story.
So 23 and 2 aren't the people on the play.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So I think they're blocking his view. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you're saying they're blocking the C's view.
Yeah.
Okay. I heard you say lead. I was like, oh, okay. It was confusing me. All right. Now, to go a little further, do we think it's a block or a charge?
Charge.
Run it
In
one
the
more
video,
time.
it looks like a charge. She looks established.
Can we slow it down? And I'm gonna talk about my famous pancake and onions.
Those
No,
feet
it's a
still
block.
moving.
She leaned forward.
Them feet still moving.
Well, we don't get a chance to look at this play twice now. All right. So, does anybody still think a block?
Looking at it again, I'd call it a block because she's leaning forward, not side to side. She motions forward instead of side to side.
Anybody have a charge?
I still have a charge.
Yeah.
All right. So, explain, why do you think it's a charge? I just want to hear the thought process.
I think she was established before she got in the air.
Okay. So you think, okay. So Miss Diane, can you back up to right where she's at the white line, right in the paint, the defender? So this was kind of tough. So if you watch her feet, play a little forward. All right. So if you see her feet, she's at the white line, correct? She starts her motion. Now the offensive player makes a euro to that left side. So now my question is, like, just like I said earlier, is the defender legal? Is that legal guard position in your opinion?
He moved the whole 3 steps from initial time she
From
said
that
for
white
screen.
line.
Yeah.
Exactly. She never established, in my opinion, never established legal guard position. Now, another thing I like to use, it's like, this is 95% proof. I've been wrong a couple times, I'm not going to lie. Now, one of our veteran officials taught me a thing called the onion and the pancake. So, put my camera up. Kind of explain it. Oh, okay, y'all still see me? Okay, good. So what he said for onion and the pancake, when you have the offense, defense. When you have collision and they split like an onion, most of the time we have a block because they did not get there. Or what happens is defenders, what they'll do is they'll throw their head back and try to get that call. So when you see that split and the person's not going through like a pancake, going through, that's where we have most of BB charge. So on that play, if you look, we have, now I'm not saying make every call based off this, that's one of my reference points. If I see a onion, I'm more in tune to call block, but I'm still going to look at the play and still ask myself, was the defender legal? Was the defender not? Were they legal or were they not legal? Thank you. I use that all the time, but a lot of veterans don't like me using that. And it is, but it is not 100% proof. So don't think if you're going to use that in your game, it's going to 100% work. There are plays that you'll have an onion, but it'll still be that charge. Mark Veer showed me that. All right. Any comments or questions?
Raphael, let's go back to what we were talking about, coverage.
Yes, sir.
Because we had a double whistle. If we back it up, the defender was a secondary defender. So mechanic wise, the lead who should be covering the secondary defender should have had first dibs. To me, the center official probably could have stopped, and somebody else already said that there were two players in their way. If they stop at their home base, because the C looked like they were chasing that from about the time, and to be honest with you, I like the shuffle. If that official would have did the shuffle in the previous play clip, probably would have helped him out and been better off as opposed to looking over the shoulder. So this one here starts shuffling, but takes off running, looking as if it's a one-man mechanic game and not trusting the system and trusting his fellow officials. Whether the lead was in position or not, he had a call. There's an arm up, and then he dropped it.
And he points right to the partner.
Did he even point?
Yeah, he points. You might not be able to see.
Okay.
I watched this earlier.
Okay, but he dropped his arm, and they didn't even.
No, he points. Watch.
Okay,
when they gonna come close.
Okay, well, he already dropped his arm. So if he dropped his arm,
right here.
He's already dropped his arm. He's giving it to him.
Yeah, 100%.
Whether he pointed or not, because if I have a call, I'm leaving my arm up.
Yes, sir.
But so the C looked like he was chasing that call, and I think Peggy or somebody previous said that not sure how the C saw it because they had the straightest line, i.e., two people in between 23 and 2 or whoever it is. Now, whether or not either official could see the lateral movement, because both of them were kind of lined up. But matter of fact, unfortunately, the best look to see if that defender moved side to side would have been a trail official that would have been across the midcourt. Because if you're moving lateral, if that defender is moving lateral, neither one of the lead or C could see a lateral move. But if you're behind the play and you see that defender, if you would have been closer, you may have seen it. And oh, by the way, that drive was the trails.
Mm-hmm.
And that's way out of bounds. We ain't talking about that. But in reality, that drive started at the volleyball 10-foot line. Well, it even started before that. And if I'm taking off and catching up to it, I'm trailing it. And it really never got into C's area because it never crossed on his side of the court. So if anything, he's got a secondary whistle, not the double whistle.
Right. Cadence.
Yep. But it was, and you said it earlier, ball watching and chasing that, anticipating a play is different than anticipating a call. And this was anticipating a call.
Yes.
So, Rafa, what could the lead have done here? What would be to help everyone understand, like, what would have been the best place for this guy to get that call?
I definitely probably would have went to home base just as the lead, and then as that girl starts driving in, I always take steps back, especially if you know in that Jefferson court, it's a very small baseline. So I just know getting close to that would be a little more difficult. So I still would start my backing up just to kind of be able to see through. But again, the biggest thing is working on getting that open look on this play. Because again, it's very difficult to maneuver on that Jefferson baseline. So you got
right now, if you look at that, just look at that and see what the C official sees. There's 3 bodies.
Yes.
In between the contact. difficult call and difficult to take it. I don't care right or wrong what the call was, because we're not down on the court, but strictly from a transition and a position, difficult for the C to take that one. Not saying he shouldn't have. I'm just saying difficult because I'm not sure he has the best look of the three based upon
Yes, sir.
positioning.
Raphael, do you think this trail here, if he would have hustled down here a little more and stepped in, would he have a better look? The best look?
He would have a better look, especially for that lateral move, because if you're looking at that lead, it's going to definitely be a little hard for him to pick up that movement. And then also with our C, because he has, like you said, he has four bodies in front of him to even see anything. So yeah, that would have been a play where, especially 1 minute in the game, when he gets down to that under 2 minutes, you got to understand too, that's the time that we try to be our best. That's the time that people remember. They remember that what happened in the first quarter. They're going to remember what happens in that last minute in the fourth quarter.
And it doesn't look like the trail is working very hard to stay connected with the whole situation.
Right.
Sometimes we have to sprint.
So Raphael, correct me if I'm wrong. So even if Trail gets there, Trail, because it's a secondary defender, should have a cadence whistle at best, because it's a lead call all day.
Yes, yeah. And actually, anybody's call, especially with a minute left in the game, we definitely can't have no call on this one.
Yeah.
Definitely can't have a no call. 1 minute left in the game.
Y'all veterans do not want that trail to make that call in that situation, it seems like, though.
If the lead and the C doesn't have a whistle, I would hope that someone gets the right call with a minute left in the game. You can't look at it as a oh well, they're right there, they got it. If they don't get it, one of us has to be able to see it. If you see it and you know your partners would not miss this if they seen it, then come get it. Because a lot of times the guy would say, hey man, thank you for coming getting that call. I didn't have the best look.
And I'll speak as a veteran. I wanted the trail official to hustle and be, as Marvin said earlier, to be a little bit more engaged. Raphael said it earlier. When they're walking, you're jogging. When they're jogging, you're running. If they're running, you're running. And that was a rebound, not even an outlet pass. The pass didn't even go above the top of the key, top of the free throw line extended or top of the key, and she was off to the races. So now all of a sudden, right now, I'm not going to do math in public, but is there 10 players and 2 officials in the front court? Or 9 players? And when the foul happened, it was only 9 players and 2 officials. So as a veteran, want that trail to move down there a little bit more and get that call right. Again, whether it's a foul or not, there was contact there and there was bodies. And if you can't explain it, then the whistle explained it.
Yep.
And I also believe with our C here, to where he is on the court, if he'd have stopped where number 10 was and looked through there, he'd have had a much better angle than trying to go all the way to the end line.
I think that's what Mike Kell said. Yeah, I like that. It's definitely making that stopping and looking through. And then actually, our veterans are really good with angles, and that's one thing I'm learning from them is you don't got to be the fastest guy on the court. If you could be the smartest guy on the court that can get that right angle, you can see everything.
That would have been a button hook right there. Stop, turn, face it. Button hook.
Correct. And look through the whole play. And it would look so much stronger making the call from there than where he was.
Yes, sir.
If I could add, we're looking at a clip in the last minute. It would be interesting to see what had happened in the first, say, 3 quarters in regards to positioning, because had the officials talked before the game about the dimensions on this court, because they would have then been, they might have to adjust right from the get-go. If it didn't work in the first half, subconsciously, they're probably going to say, well, I can just blame it on the short end line. Okay, and that that lead official may have had some difficulty and adjusted on his own. And so he's out further than he should be. He still has a look here of some degree, but I think we all have to, knowing your court dimensions and how much move and what is it non-routine about your court can help you in situations like this.
All right. Any other comments about this play before we move on? That was a good talk. I like that talk on that play.
Hey, Rob.
Yes.
I wanted to ask, at lead, if you're at lead in this position, he had his fist up as well for a double whistle. Is that a time where you would stop your center official as he passes you with information, or would you want him to ask for information at that point? Say you had a different call or a different opinion on that play. Would you stop
you
him?
could definitely still come together. Now, I'm not sure why he didn't come together on that one, especially with a minute left. My biggest thing is getting the play right. So if now I'm trying, I know I still would have came together. Minute left, we have a double whistle like that, and if I see my partner coming that far down, I'm definitely coming to him to make sure we got the same thing. All right. Let me play this next one.
All right.
Played so many clips, I can't remember this one. Oh, okay, I remember this one. All right. So one more time, fast motion, then we'll slow it down. We have another block charge situation. All right, let's slow it down now. I know it's kind of hard to see. Just wanted you to kind of see it fast. So coverage-wise, the C looks like he's what with the second. Well, he came back up real quick, Ms. Ryan. I want to see the C's positioning on this press because he's kind of in the second line. Yeah, it's like third line, but he could have scooted up a little more because he's third line. Scooted up in between that second green and that second line of green. Could have been there. Or you could play it through or play it up a little bit. Okay. Carol lead. Oh, yeah, trail. See the trail. So I think the lead's already down the baseline. All right, now go ahead and backtrack. All right, pause right there. Okay, still good. Yep. Keep going. I'll tell you when to pause at the end.
Okay.
And pause before that drive, which actually makes that drive. All right. So go ahead about 2 more steps and then go ahead pause it. All right. 1 more pause. All right. So again, my biggest thing is picking up that defender and are they legal? So as you can see here, it was kind of hard to see, but she's still trying to slide over to take that charge on this play. So again, we got to pick up the secondary defender and making sure they're legal before contact is made. So we're going to have contact on this play with the defender not legal. It's kind of hard to tell, but boom. Now, again, what I was talking about earlier, do we have a pancake or do we have an onion on this play?
Pancake, it looks like.
Pancake. You play football?
I say a tilted onion.
Yeah, tilted onion. I would go, not no pancake. Pancake, just like in football when they flatten somebody. She ain't run over her. Two
And it
different
looked like
directions.
she kind of saw the defender. It looked like she was trying to get to the gap. She was kind of bumped in the back from number 14 also on that fall.
Yep, it also could have been the foul of 14 as well. Good eye. Now, in y'all's opinion, who has the best look on this play?
C.
You think C has the best look on the step through?
I think the lead still has the best look.
I believe the lead still
definitely
has the best look. And like I'm saying, because the C, if you see, has 3 players in front of them and then having to catch White trying to split. Yeah.
I like how 14 goes, not me.
Yeah.
Hey, Ralph, would you want the lead to be closed down at this point? Almost shoulders square to get that angle, or no?
Can you back it up a little bit, Mr. Hand?
I agree with you, Mikhail. The lead is slow getting to position.
Yeah, I definitely believe he should already been at home base. He's not even at, he just got the home base.
Or very close to home base on that play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely could have took a step down because you want to be able to see through that. Because I honestly don't think he 100% saw that defender there. He was stationary before that contact.
Yeah, like when contact hits, he's not even to the S yet.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's pretty wide.
But we got a whistle on it. So, I mean, at least we got a whistle. It's better to be 50% than 0%.
He just was real confident calling that charge, though.
Got to be confident. If you call that go weep, charge, the whole place gonna go at you after you. All right. Any other comments or questions?
Do you want to talk about like his trail in the right place? Just asking, just so we can discuss.
Yeah, I'm looking at him. Back it up a little bit. I want to say he's too much onto the court at this point, because I would have definitely tried to ran off and then hustled. Yeah, see, I would have ran more a little bit off. He's coming down straight on that volleyball line. It's fine, but that's just me, myself, what I would have done. I would have ran a little wider and then got a little closer to the play.
That's his drive, so he's got to get there.
Mm-hmm.
The foul was called. The foul was called on the secondary defender. So the ball was picked up at the volleyball 10-foot line, and then she turned and go. You got to stay engaged and not think that somebody else is get it. It started in your primary, and you got to take it until something. Because honestly, I think he should have had a whistle on 14 before the contact.
Mm-hmm.
Because
very good.
She crossed over, dribbled between the legs, and that slowed up the drive. And right there, 14 puts 2 hands out there.
Right there.
And that's a foul.
That was perfect. Yeah.
Okay, that's a foul.
Yeah.
Somebody got to call that. There's 2 hands on her back. That's a foul.
That's why our hands went up.
Okay, the lead is not seeing that because it's straight, not expected to.
And he's probably picking up the other defender.
Exactly, secondary defender, because the girl, and I'm just going to say this, I don't know her number. The white girl is now moving towards her to try to establish legal guarding position. So the only person that may see the hands may be to see, but the trail, because we have the closest angle as the trail does from this perch.
And that's why I think he should have
2 hands went out there
to see through.
2 hands went out, and that's you could have called that and whistled it even from right there. You could have called that and established that you can't put 2 hands on.
Would be better if he was in the front court, though.
Oh, it'd have been better if he down at the volleyball 10-foot line. Or 28-foot mark.
Can you
But
see
2
the
hands
mouse?
go on it right there. So
Can you see the mouse?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what? Like right here, you're talking about, Frank?
well, at least go up to the volleyball 10-foot line on the volleyball court, the white lines.
I'm like, I don't play volleyball. What's the volleyball?
Right there, the white line right there. That's the volleyball line.
10-foot line.
All these big money makers call volleyball. They know what that is. They stealing money from volleyball.
So right here,
Yeah. If you hustle down to there, you're now inside the 28-foot mark. That's your drive to the basket until something happens. Right there where the cursor is, man, that's a beautiful look right there. Man, look at that. That is whoo.
And
you
take a
see,
couple steps in. Yeah.
and you see two hands go on her shoulders, and none of this is even being discussed. Just the view. It's a perfect view from our camera angle here.
yeah.
So now the question, Frank, is would you have given her 2 shots, or would they say that was not in the shooting?
I think she put her hands on her before, but then again, we're going to watch it 13 more times, and I don't think she ever got it up. But that's again,
Yeah,
we're
she
seeing
didn't
it in.
lift the ball when she touched it.
It's on
Well, right there,
Yeah.
she started her motion of shooting. It's
She's
not a gather
gathering.
thing. So she's
Habitual motion.
yeah. So she started it. So yeah. Now from that location in the backcourt, giving her 2 shots, may have had to just give her a shot or give her a foul and go, because giving her 2 shots from there. Ugh. But anyhow, yeah, from a strictly looking at the film, she had started her shot.
I agree.
And based off he's calling it off that block charge, I would have went 2 shots as well.
Yeah.
So if you call that on 14, can you put it on the floor? When she put those 2 hands
Well,
there?
if I'm standing in the backcourt,
There?
if I was in the backcourt, I'd have probably said that it was before shooting. I'm not pointing at the floor. I'm not calling it on the floor. I'm going to say it's before the shot, because I'm back there, so I'm covering my ASS. But as we watch the film for the 30th time, probably would have sent her to the line if you'd have called it on 14. Because right there, she's starting her shooting motion. The ball doesn't go back down to the ground. It's just like doing an uncontested layup. She has picked the ball up. It doesn't go back down. It's just like a layup line. That's a shot.
Yep.
Appreciate that, Frank.
Hey, can I ask a dumb question? I'm new to the association.
No such thing as a dumb question. Go ahead.
Well, I just noticed, I agree with you, it was a block and everything else, but the referee he called the number and foul and never came to the score. I come from California,
Tom, you are correct. We could go over that 1,000 times, but whatever question you're going to ask, I'm going to read your mind. You are correct. That was incorrect.
Right. He should go to the score table.
Yes,
correct?
take a couple steps up. I would say about clear out 3-point line, report, go back.
If you're coming over from California, we won't go into it, but we'll get you. In the state of Texas, in the state of Texas, there is a reporting exception from the National Federation Mechanics book. So it's more in line with the college, but your point of bringing that up in the way that mechanic was reporting the foul, your concern is valid from any mechanic.
Okay. I was just making sure.
Yes, we'll get you there, but you are correct.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Any other comments?
I have a question, going back to the positioning of the lead. A lot of the instruction that I've received says that we should stay as lead. You should stay out wide and deep. And by moving, does that change your view of having an open look? So would he have been incorrect if he'd have stayed right where he was if he had a good look out wide and deeper?
So to answer that, do you think he's in a good position? And so the reason why I said that he should go down is just because I don't believe that he has a clear view to see in between the 2 defenders and the offensive player trying to get in between. I feel like he needs to be down almost to the E, in between that S and E to see through that play.
Okay.
And maybe a little further deeper off the end line. Instead of standing in that white part, he'd be over there closer to the wall to see it. Getting closer and being deeper would provide a better angle.
Yes, sir.
Staying close to the inline and working, then you're too close to the plate. You need that big picture to see that whole play correctly.
Yes, especially with the hands on the back.
All right, thank you.
Good question. All right.
Question, sir.
Yes, sir.
You think that the lead probably would have had a better angle had once he saw that the plate went into the paint, that's when he should have dove down deeper into closer to the E or and turned his shoulders a little to the left so he would have been able to see through that better.
Yep, and
Like,
Mr.
I
can you
can
back
see,
up to
I
when
can
she
see where
makes
he's
her
at
drive?
right now. Like, had that play went out to the corner, he probably would have been in a great position. But once 21 made her move to the paint, then now, I see. Now I got to beat feet and get over to make sure I'm there.
Yep. So, Ms. Diane, can you go to when white players at the offense players at the 3-point line with the ball right before she makes that drive? So once she makes that drive here,
right
when
there,
you're lead, yep. So right now, when you're lead, when you see that drive, your first reaction needs to be secondary defender, because like Frank was saying, primary defender should be on the trail. So as the lead, we need to pick up that secondary defender so we're not shocked on any contact. And then now we see that drive. Now we go, is the defender legal? No. Is the defender legal? No. Is the defender legal? No. Boom, we have contact. That makes my next move easier now. Defender's never legal. I'm blowing my whistle.
Copy all. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
What on that, what you want to do, and that's a good question, is get to your base, and then you're going to look up and you're going to see where the ball is. It's not in your primary yet. Then you're going to look at your primary and you're going to self-talk. Who's going to get me in trouble? What in my area is going to get me in trouble? And in that case, whatever first thing that pops into the lane is going to get you in trouble. So you're talking to yourself, because the ball's above the 3-point line extended. So the ball's not going to get you in trouble yet. It's who's going to get you in trouble. And if it's that defender coming over across the lane from opposite, then you need to be a little bit closer to that. You're self-talking yourself there, because initially there's nothing going on in your area as that drive's taking place, but yet somebody appeared in your area and got in trouble. So you're self-talking. What is next? What's the next move? What can get me in trouble? And you looking for that.
Thank you.
All right. What was I
think that was the last play. You're muted, Raphael.
Sorry, why I keep muting it. Sorry.
That's all right. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, all right, well, that was the last one. So anything else you wanted to go over, or you have anything else?
Does anybody else have any questions regarding just transition coverage, press coverage, anything that may have seen or happened in this last season that you have questions about? We can discuss that here if anyone has anything.
Any atypical plays anyone wants to discuss? Michael probably got a bunch.
I'm kind of new to all of this. I played basketball once, like 20 years ago, but so all of this was kind of like not my language. I was just trying to get a feel for what's going on. So hopefully when I go to the beginner training next Sunday, this will all start to make sense to me, because right now I have no idea what's going on.
No worries. That's what the first year training is, to get you up and running. So you'll see it. We'll be out there on Sunday. So no worry. We'll get you ready.
It's good that you joined, though, just so you can start getting a feel for how we do trainings, and just, starting to see that positioning. But they'll talk to you about coverage and positioning and training. They do, the training staff does a good job in that.
I look forward to that. Thank you.
And welcome to the
Yeah,
chat.
I'm
We're glad to have
super
you.
excited.
Excellent. Let's see. I think there's somebody has something in the chat. Oh, okay. Ramon saying last season was his first season and he had a blast. So
That's good. I always love to hear that.
yeah, we do. Any other questions or comments?
The clinic that's supposed to take place this weekend, is information be coming out on that?
I'm sorry, say it again.
The clinic that's supposed to be at this weekend, is
Yes.
that still going? And if so, will there be information coming out soon?
I think they resent the emails. Did they
Yeah,
not?
we did.
It's one- it's on-
An email went to all the campers last week about all the information regarding, so we have our 3-person SABOA camp this weekend, Friday, the 15th and Saturday, the 16th. Both nights are at Judson High School. So Friday, we start at 6 o'clock and there'll be an in-classroom session and then an on-the-court session. We'll be done about 8. And then Saturday morning, there's an 8 a.m. mandatory session. And we'll be going over some things that morning, and then games start at 9 a.m. And so we'll go ahead and send out another email to reminder, but we did send it out last week. So for our camp director, Ben Rivers, if you have any questions, you can email him. And also it's black shorts, shirt, and black shoes. So it's going to be
Black socks, please.
Black socks, please. Yes. And it's going to be a competitive tournament. I mean, we have the state champs. Clark is in it, Brandeis, Brennan, teams from Austin, Westlake, Cedar Park. Those are all very good teams. A lot of 6A ball, essentially. So it's top-notch girls basketball. The class is somewhat full, but I mean, we have probably a couple more spots, Vincent. So why don't you
I had registered and sent in my stuff and paid for it over the summer, and I never received any information.
Weird. Okay, Lloyd, I will double check on that and get you.
All right.
Have it.
Yeah, because according to Ben today, when I talked to Ben, I mean, we're full.
We are full. Okay.
Yeah. Because I had someone else today wanted to sign up, and I told him to get in touch with Ben. And Jeremy Smith wanted to sign up. Ben says we're full. But that doesn't mean you can't come and observe, maybe jump in a little bit in the camp.
Yes, right. And yes, Rick Gonzalez is asking, is there still a requirement for a clinic every 2 years for all officials chapters? And is it being reinforced? Yes and yes. Per our rate policy, and if you're new, go to our website, saboa.org, and our rate policy is on there. What that means is we evaluate all officials, and you have to have certain rating to do certain level of play. So if in order to have a certain rate, everyone needs to attend a camp every 2 years. So if you didn't go to one last year, you should have gone to one this year. Unless you went to the 1 year before. It's just every 2 years. And we do reinforce it. We'll be sending out a Google survey asking people to send in where they went to camp and give us that information. And it is updated, and our assignment team does look at that. So that's really important. Any other questions? Comments?
I just have a quick question.
Sure.
Cause I also registered with GSAC with Greater San Antonio.
Yes.
And their trainings are on Saturday and y'all's are on Sunday. And I also do reffing outside of like school games, like it's AAU like games.
Yep.
So is it fine like if I alternate weekends, or is it best to try to go to both? Cause I know Henry mentioned yesterday that he'd prefer for us not to be in both chapters, that he said he would like to be selfish or something. I don't remember exactly how he mentioned it, but for how he worded it yesterday. He preferred us to be just with SABOA. But like I said, I already paid my dues and I'm paying my game fees Friday because I saw Marvin's scheduled me a game for November, which would be my first game with y'all going in.
Mhm.
But I've already done 2 camps with Greater San Antonio, 3-man doing high school games.
Right.
And I just wanted to make sure is it best to go to as many trainings as possible? Because I know some of the stuff y'all are going over and this next one coming up because they're studying floor positioning and stuff. And with the other trainings I've already done, I've already been evaluated for floor positioning and stuff like that. So that's why I'm trying to alternate going back and forth.
Well, I would get with Henry on that. But yes, we do ask that officials attend
Yes.
majority of all the trainings, and if you need to miss one or something comes up, that's okay. But we do ask that our new officials to this chapter do attend that training, but particularly if they don't have experience in working UIL basketball. The other thing is in regards, just so everyone knows, so you know kind of how the chapter in our constitution and policies views dual membership. So dual members, it's fine. If you want to be a dual member, that's fine. And Henry's right. We do encourage people to be in SABOA only. And I will say that our members that are SABOA only do get priority in regards to scheduling. And dual member, rather than they get priority over dual members, essentially. So that's something to think about when you're looking at your schedule and what you want to do personally, but that's an individual choice. But just so you know, I would go look at our policies regarding dual so you get a better understanding of that. But we do prefer that you are in San Antonio chapter only. I mean, but the reality is all chapters need officials. Everybody's short officials. So again, it's your personal choice, but it's something that we would rather people not do. But we're not gonna tell you not to.
Okay, no, because I was just asking because I could make it to both trainings. It was just because I'm trying to get the most training out of getting into this, being a new official.
Absolutely.
That's the only reason I'm asking.
Yeah. But yeah, get with Henry on that and he can give you the best direction. Any other questions? Okay, so we'll have another one of these Zooms next week, next Monday. It is at same time, 7:30, and it'll be on traveling. So as you know, I will tell you that's one of the calls that coaches I shouldn't say complain, inquire about regarding their want for consistency. So it'll be a really good session. So please plan to join us next Monday. And if you register, it's the same link as this one. So if you already registered for this, obviously you're here, you don't need to re-register again. It's the same registration, it's the same Zoom link for the next one. I will also be putting out the recorded ones for the first 2 sessions out. So if there's some of you on here that weren't able to make it to those first 2 sessions, we will have videos of those 2. And again, we'll have all the rest of these sessions recorded as well. So again, thank you, everybody. Remember, our first general meeting is September 24th. I'll remind everybody again next week, but just know 4 p.m. it's a mandatory meeting. We'll go over Frank Few our rules. Guy will be doing the rules clinic. We'll also have a mandatory sexual harassment presentation that's required of our chapter. There was one last question. Somebody asked do we need to attend our own camp to get a rating? You can go, we don't actually rate at the camps. The camp is just a requirement, making sure that officials are getting continuous education. You actually get rated through our rate committee, and we'll be putting more information out. We have a new rate committee this year. So we'll be putting that out and talking about that, mentioning that at the first meeting as well. But rating is done through DDR, which is someone we outsource with. And again, we'll talk a little bit more about that at our first meeting. Any other questions? The traveling session, all these educational sessions are at 7:30 p.m. So the next one's next Monday, 7:30 p.m. Any other questions or comments?
Diana,
Yes, sir.
everybody should go to the website and read everything you can find on the website. Click on everything and read it.
Yep. Good point, Marvin. And it's just saboa.org. Anything else? Marvin, did you have anything else at all regarding assignments since we have people on?
Well, other than what you covered earlier about, taking care of getting the state registration, chapter registration paid, filling out the background check information, get all that done, and then start working on the game assignment fees. For those who were in training yesterday, we covered that very well, Henry and I. But get that going so we know who we can count on when we start assigning. And I have already started assigning some games, as Camacho said. So, the sooner the better. You take care of business, you help us, we'll help you.
Great. Thank you, Marvin. And again, for those of you that are new to our chapter or transfers, even if you're not a camper, please feel free to come on by to Judson High School. We'll be there all day Saturday. Watch some basketball. It will be good. Just listen to the clinicians talking to the campers. It'll be good information for you just to listen to and start learning more about. So you all are more than invited to attend and watch those.
And we can pick up our rule books there, correct?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Bill. Yes, and Kenny will be there and Marvin with rule books. They'll be available, so feel free to come by. The first game's at 9 a.m. and the last game starts at 6. So we should be there from at least 9 a.m. till about 7:30 or so. So feel free to come on by, pick up your rule books as well. Judson High School.
I think I put that on the email last night to everybody.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
You did. I'll just reiterate in case anybody didn't see it. One last question. How do I get assigned games? What happens if I get picked Grayson? My primary didn't know it was the wrong one. If you accidentally picked Greater San Antonio chapter, and you want to switch it, call Marvin. Can they call you Marvin and you can
Yeah,
help
they can
with
call
that?
me and I'll let them know what they need to do.
Yep, call Marvin Cobb and he'll help you with that, Sabrina. Game fees will be paid through a PayPal link that you can find on Arbiter. Okay, I think that's it, unless anyone. Oh, Sabrina, you don't have his phone number. Marvin, can you say your phone number real quick for Sabrina?
210-391-5693.
There, I just put that in the chat for everybody. Learn that number, memorize it, save it on your phone. It's also in Arbiter. Vincent, I'll get with you on that. Any other questions? Hi, Sal. Good to see you. Okay, guys, we've gone over our time. I don't want to take anyone else's time. Raphael, thank you again for going through those videos. Appreciate your help. We will have Devin Judkins, who is also a chapter member, that will be going over traveling next week. So I'll remind everybody about that session. Please join us. Everybody have a great rest of your week and weekend. And again, hope to see y'all, some of y'all out there at Judson High School. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.